Good evening, everyone. Here we are. It's the Frugal News on, of course, the 19th today, 19th of the 5th, 2026, as we are looking on the calculator, and it's apparently it's a 7-7 day today, very 6-6 yesterday, 5-5 before that, so now it's a 7-7. Tomorrow, of course, will be 8-8. Which of course is Wednesday tomorrow, Tuesday today. So yeah, good evening everyone. We're all okay. So little hello to everybody. Sharon's in, Glenn's in, David's in, Lisa's in, Kelly Close is in, Angela Davis is in, Brenda Corcoran's in, Dave Ling's in, Diane Williamson's in, and of course Graham is in. A little bit early for most people today, but not to worry. We've got plenty on. So we've got Grenfell. Grenfell's back in the headlines, ladies and gentlemen. This is quite interesting, actually. So Grenfell basically burnt down due to bullshit cladding. Now, from what we can understand, I think it was somewhere in the region of the council at the time saved about 100 to 150,000 pounds on inferior cladding. Now, apparently, 57 individuals have been identified in this investigation, and they are going to be come up for crimes in public office. And apparently 20 companies are also involved in the scam as well. So this is going to be quite interesting. Now, it was thought that the inquiry is going to be imminent. However, apparently it's been delayed once again. I wonder why. But anyway, it just shows you that the corruption and that has taken place over the course of like many years, is still now sort of coming to fruition, which is actually really interesting. Now I've told everybody that if you are involved in illicit activities, so to speak, it might be a good idea to stop, because of course you're being tracked and traced by this military operation, or whatever you want to call it, and it's been going on for quite a few years now. Yeah, if you are doing that shit, well, you carry on at your own peril. That's up to you. NHS, apparently nurses are suffering racial abuse. Of course, we got the racial card back in the scene again. You know what I mean? Absolutely fucking unbelievable. And then, of course, we got the HS2 bullshit. Now, of course, the HS2 is back in the headlines again, as Grenfell's back in again. So this is headlines from sort of 4 or 5 years ago. Now, I did tell you that HS2 was massively behind schedule and massively over budget. Now, somebody's lying somewhere along the line, because I think it was 3 years ago, the estimated budget was around 120 to 150 billion. Now, then what happened was they've announced today that the price tag is still going to be 120 billion. However, what you need to understand is that all of the northern infrastructure that was going on from Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds, I think it's Newcastle, that's all been stopped completely. So I would say that's probably about half of the project. So it's really interesting that a project that started off at 35 billion, ladies and gentlemen, a few years ago, is now estimated to half of it is only going to be delivered for an estimated cost at the moment of 120 billion. Let me tell you, you've not heard the last of this. You have not heard the last of this. And here's the absolute bullshit of it all. This railway is not going to be working until between 2039 and 2045. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And isn't it interesting how it's coming out of London and it's going to Birmingham? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why is that happening? The other interesting thing about the HS2 line as well, the HS2 line begins, I think it's just outside of London. Could even be Golders Green. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, they haven't actually started the link that is going to take it into central London. I would imagine that's going to be a pretty serious nightmare. And that's why they haven't started it. Now, that link is, I think it's about 10 to 15 miles long. Doesn't sound very problematic, but let me tell you, when they altered King's Cross and what was the other one, Liverpool Street Station, let me tell you, there was some serious shit went off there, let me tell you. Yeah, it's a really interesting thing to keep your eye on, especially with Grenfell as well. And don't forget that this investment, or should we say this money laundering operation, is basically it is just a money laundering operation, and I think it's somewhere in the region. It's only going to save roughly about 10 minutes on the journey, 10 to 15 minutes. Now, here's the kicker. Apparently, the new train system that is going to be used, because they can't use the high speed network because of some safety issues. I'm not sure whether there's frogs on the line or fucking leaves or whatever, but they can't use the faster trains, so they're going to be stuck with roughly the same trains as they've got now. So the 10 to 15 minutes that they were going to save per journey, that has now gone out the window. And let's not forget, there is already a regular service from Birmingham into central London. I think it runs about every hour. So you tell me where all that money's going. Now, Avanti rail service, trains. Apparently, this is an interesting one. Over the summer period, Avanti are going to cut their train timetable in order to save costs. That's like me not delivering you a patio, but you've given me a deposit. Know what I mean? Anyway, very interesting. And then, of course, we have heard that we have heard that Great Western Railways apparently is going to be turned into a nationalised company again. Now, this was, of course, remember that the railway, the British Rail, as it used to be called, for those of you younger than 50 years old, British Rail was a nationalised company. And, of course, it was owned by the British taxpayer, as you all know. Now, the whole sort of agenda or ethos to stop British Rail and privatise it was inefficiency. They said that British Rail was inefficient. They said that it was costing loads and loads of money. And where have we seen this argument before? Well, we've seen this argument in absolutely everything. The argument is now raging once again within the NHS. Now, remember that the NHS is probably one of the last bastions of British sort of innovation and, should we say, industrialisation. Now, all of the big companies that we used to have, So if we think about British Rail, British Gas, British Electric, British Coal, we think about all of those things. They all used to be owned by the nation, okay? And this was of course the great industrial Britain. And then, of course, what happened, the not so very bright people in Parliament decided that they were going to privatise everything. So what they did, they made everybody think that these companies were all losing money, and it was costing millions and millions of pounds to keep them going. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? When you've got a big organisation, you always do have, the shookers. You always do have the people that fucking play it by the book, and you always have that. There's always a number of people taking the piss. But privatising something is not always the best thing, okay? And in my lifetime, one of the interesting things with Margaret Thatcher, of course, who was an absolute fucking dimwit, despite the fact what you hear, she decided that she was going to smash the British coal industry, and she did, using the police as a political tool, etc., etc. We all know the drill. But of course, what Margaret Thatcher didn't tell you was all the finite details about not only British coal, but also the Australian coal that was being imported into the UK, okay, basically from Australia. And there was all kinds of energy values that weren't taken into consideration. And then, of course, we had the very, very heavy cost of millions of people going onto the dole. Now, not only did millions of coal miners go onto the dole, but subsequently millions of shopkeepers, newsagents, and all kinds of people that were affiliated to the mines went onto the dole. And that was simply because Margaret Thatcher, in her infinite wisdom, decided that she was going to smash the unions. Now, don't get me wrong, the unions, have been a pain in the arse in the past. But of course, they've all been about, going. I mean, the unions have gone over the top sometimes with all kinds of different things, but there's arguments on both sides. But it definitely wasn't an argument to shut down the mining industry, and it definitely wasn't an argument to sell the coal industry. It wasn't an argument to sell British Telecom or British Rail. It just wasn't an argument, and so what's happened in the UK is that we have got this. We've had this industrialization of the UK, and of course this is what Donald Trump is very much against. Donald Trump, of course, stands for looking after the workers, paying the workers good money, because, of course, Donald Trump just happens to be a businessman. Donald Trump also knows, along with many other leaders, that councils and politicians and Westminster and Congress are all full of people that take the piss. They're all full of people that really don't do the jobs. They get paid a lot of money, an awful lot of money, and they basically do fuck all. And this is where they need to get in. Now, Mr. Trump, of course, knows that he can run the government of the United States and probably the government of the United Kingdom with only a third of the workers. Okay. Now, it's a bit like me. I'm worth about 10 men. And because obviously, you know, when you work for yourself, you have to organise things, you have to get things done, you have to make sure you're on time, you have to make sure that you're looking after your customers, you have to be planning, you have to be ordering stuff, you have to be making sure that things are on time, are getting delivered on time, etc., etc., etc. And so when you do work for yourself, you have a mentality of 10 people, you know, basically, where in other industries, you know, these people just do one job and then they fuck off home, and that's fine. That's fine, okay. And then of course we've got a huge amount of people that are just taking the piss. Huge amount of people that don't want to work. Huge amount of people that just want to fucking lie down all day fucking long. So in regards to Gisara and Asara, my thoughts on that are this: yeah, fucking pay the fuckers. Give them £500 a week and let them sit on their arse, right? And give me £500 a week and then pay me to do another job, which means that I'm getting, I don't know, £1,500, £2,000, £4,000 a week, okay? And we'll get the fucking job sorted out. Do you know what I mean? And then what that does is it clearly sends a message to the young ones about you know, about ethics and about working. And little kids are not stupid, right? So, you know, imagine that you've got me and I'm getting £4,000 or £5,000 a week, and I'm working, I'm getting my Gisara check, and then you've got Billy No Mates next door, right? He's got a couple of kids and he sat on his arse, or she sat on her arse, doing fuck all, you know, basically titting about all the time. And little Johnny goes, oh, Mum, you know, how come Mark's got a Lamborghini and we ain't got one? Well, where do you go with that one? Because Mum's going to turn around and go, well, yeah, well, that's quite interesting because, you know, Mark gets his paycheck, but also as well, he works and he gets paid really well to do that. And the problem that we got in the system, the system that we got at the moment pays people to do fuck all, as you well know, and it sort of penalises people that want to work and want to get on and want to do things, etc., etc., etc. And so, you know, it is an interesting thing. And we got. You got the same with the councils. The councils are just ripping people off. Friend of mine that runs a nursery, she's renting a building from the council. Okay, the council apparently came in the other day, wanted to change some light bulbs. Okay, now you know you would think that would come under the maintenance contract that the council have got, because they're renting somebody a space in their building. Okay, so this my friend gets a bill. She gets a bill for somewhere in the region of £800 to change 2 light bulbs, right? To change 2 light bulbs, and I think there was a shelf wanted putting up. I mean, fuck me, what a fucking shelf that would have to be. I mean, it'd have to be from Land's End to fucking John O'Groats for me to charge that fucking price. But this is what the problem is. This is what's going on. Now, this is a typical example. Where she told me this is a typical example of the councils. The councils are now collapsing. The councils are collapsing. They're running out of money, and they're trying to find every fucking single fucking way they can to actually make money and claw money back. And this is why she got a bill for £800. And I spoke to her about it and said that's what's happening. And then recently, I've registered our local tip. Now, because I've got a commercial vehicle, okay, I'm only allowed to have 12 visits a month. Okay, 12 visits a month. Now, we took a bit of stuff. I think there was a mattress, and there was some wood and bits and pieces and stuff. You know how it is. You get all that shit, don't you? But anyway, I get a text message, 10 minutes after I leave the fucking place saying, thank you, Mr. Thacker, for your visit. Much appreciated. You now have 11 visits left. I'm like, you're fucking having a laugh, aren't you? So let me tell you, the next time I go to that tip, my van is going to be chock-a-block full. The fucking roof rack's going to be full. And I'm going to have a trailer behind me that's absolutely chock-a-block. It's going to take them 4 hours to fucking empty the fucking thing. There's no way they're going to beat me by one fucking visit a fucking month. Fuck off, that's what I say. Anyway, yeah, went off on a bit of a tangent here. Sorry about that. Yeah, get to serious stuff. What else have we got? Let's have a look here. Andy Burnham. Andy Burnham is mounting a challenge. Now, I hope he's not going to mount Keir Starmer live on Manchester TV, because that could be rather fucking funny. Anyway, yeah, so Andy Burnham apparently mounting a challenge. Now, of course, Nigel Farage is also in the running, as you well know. But I do believe that Nigel Farage he'll claim some medical illness, because Nigel Farage is one of them blokes where he gets you to the finish line, and then he doesn't actually fucking go over. He's one of them. I don't know what it is about him. You know, he's been in politics for like 45 years, I think it has, something like that. One of the Silver Spoon boys. You know, lollipop up his arse and all that shit. And he's just one of them. He's just one of them people. And I don't think he's got the balls to do it this time. I reckon he's going to cry off sick, and someone else will step in. I've got no idea who that is, but that's what I think. But and anyway, Andy Burnham, this is just taking the heat away from Keir Starmer, of course, as you well know. You should be working all this out yourself now. It's not rocket science to follow. And so that's what's going on with Mr. Burnham. Now, as you well know, there are some question marks with Mr. Burnham. There are also question marks with lots of other MPs and lots of other councillors and mayors. Sadiq Khan comes to mind, etc., etc. So there's lots of questions over these people that apparently want to lead the country. So, yeah, we'll just wait and see. Now, here's an interesting headline as well. Mr. Putin, I probably trust Mr. Putin more than I would Donald Trump, but anyway, that's just me. Now, apparently, Mr. Putin has flown into China today to have a quick coffee and a hobnob with Xi Jinping. As you fucking do when you know, prime ministers of countries. Now, this is really funny. The mainstream media are trying to make out that President Putin is regretting his decision to fight in Ukraine, which is an absolute crock of shite. President Putin is fucking sending a message to the EU saying there's fucking no way you're having NATO on our fucking doorstep. Now fuck off. Anyway, the fact that Zelensky's got in, well, that's just another fucking story. Now, apparently, according to the mainstream media, apparently Russia is heavily reliant on Chinese oil. Now, I don't know. That is an absolute complete and utter lie. As far as I know, right, Russia actually pumps its own oil all the way around the world, and especially to Europe as well. Now, there are parts of Europe that are still taking Russian oil, okay? I would imagine that even now, even though there are sanctions on Russia, I bet you the UK are still, even though they are fighting against Ukraine and Russia, Russia, I would imagine that they're still taking oil. I bet you they are taking oil. Okay. Now, the interesting part about China is now this is amazing. So here we have, according to the mainstream media, here we have, of course, Russia, okay, apparently relying on China for its oil. And then here we are, China is getting its oil from Iran. What an absolute crock of fucking bullshit. I tell you what, you can't trust any of the fuckers, you know what I'm saying? And anyway, now, Meghan Markle, this is quite an interesting one. Now, apparently in the satanic circles, apparently we've got 8 witches. That's an interesting one. I didn't know about this one. Now, apparently we've got 8 witches. Now, apparently Meghan Markle is one of the 8 witches. No wonder she had a fucking baby bump that dropped to her ankles during a recent visit a couple of years ago. So, yeah, Meghan Markle, a high-class witch. Not surprising. I mean, don't forget, Meghan Markle was servicing Andrew Mountbatten on a boat for 3 years. Was it 3 years or 2 years? I don't know, it's 2 years or 3 years. But yes, she was personally serving Andrew Mountbatten. Now, this, of course, is before Harry was dipping his little wick. And I wouldn't be surprised if Meghan wasn't also todgering Prince William as well. You know, keep it in the family and all that shite. But anyway, Meghan Markle. So let me give you the 8 satanic witches. Number 1 on the list, of course, is Marina Abramovich. Then, of course, we have Hillary Clinton. Then we've got Mayor Musk, something to do with the Musk family, I would imagine. Melinda Gates, Gates Foundation. Lady Gaga. And, of course, we've got Beyonce. Then, apparently, Meghan Markle. And then another woman called Priyanka Chopra. No idea, never heard of it before. But apparently there's a lot of spirit cooking goes on in Sidonia. Very interesting. Anyway, we'll keep our eye on that. Apparently, that is the spirit capital HQ, the spirit cooking capital of the HQ. I fucking don't know about that, but anyway, it all sounds quite interesting to me. So there we have, of course, Meghan Markle. There was always something dodgy about her, do you know what I mean? I don't know what it was. She just looks a wrong un. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. Now, meanwhile, of course, the King and Queen visited Northern Ireland. Very interesting. Now, apparently this was an unannounced visit. As you do when you're King and Queen, you just fucking rock up wherever you fucking want. I mean, last week the fuckers was in Aldi. Next week they'll be in Marks and Spencer's, and the week after they'll probably be in the fucking pound shop. Now, wouldn't that be fucking great news to see the King and Queen being interviewed in the pound shop? Fucking hilarious that would be. But anyway, they were apparently in Northern Ireland, and guess where they went to visit? Wow, the Titanic Quarter. I tell you what, you can't make this shit up. You literally could. I tell you what, if someone had said this was going to happen for a few years ago, you'd have gone, nah, fucking hell, that's never going to happen. The King and Queen in the Titanic Quarter, eh? What is the significance of that? Titanic, Federal Reserve, the Titanic sinks, insurance job, replaced by the Olympic, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? World Banking, da-da-da-da-da. Eh? Fucking hell, unbelievable. Now, apparently, there's rumours, now this is quite an interesting one, apparently there's rumours knocking about that on the 2nd of September 2016, King Arthur's sword was apparently delivered to Donald Trump, okay? Unfortunately, it never made it into the golden statue at Mar-a-Lago, which would have been fucking hilarious. Now, can you imagine Mar-a-Lago, the big golden statue, Trump with his hand in his ear and half of his fucking ear blown off, and there he's got Arthur's fucking sword. That would have been a fucking story. Anyway, apparently this was delivered to Trump at, I think it was Trump Tower, apparently, in a ritual. Now, I don't know what sort of a ritual it was, and I don't really care. But apparently at this ritual, Donald Trump was crowned. Fucking hell. Who writes this shit? Who writes this shit? Apparently, Donald Trump was crowned as king. And apparently, Melania Trump exposed herself as Diana. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing this film. It's got to be a fucking, it's fucking unbelievable. Anyway, we'll wait and see. Now, meanwhile, Mel Gibson has come out and said that Gavin Newsom, now I don't know a lot about Gavin Newsom, apparently Gavin Newsom drank the blood of babies. Now, I don't literally know how he did that or why he did it, but anyway, that's the story coming from Mel Gibson. And Mel is also saying as well that the military operation is ongoing for everyone. Fucking hell. Honestly, I tell you what, by the time this military operation's finished, I'll be fucking tired. I'm gonna have like 2 weeks in bed. Fuck them. Just 2 weeks in bed. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? What else have we got? Now, somebody asked me earlier today about the TV license, and this, for me personally, highlights the different levels that people are at in regards to all kinds of different things. So, some of us don't pay the TV license, some of us don't pay the council tax, some of us don't pay this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, if you have decided that that's what you want to do, then that's, of course, is entirely up to you. If you still want to continue paying your TV license, well, that's entirely up to you too. If you want to continue paying your council tax, that is entirely up to you again. All I can say on this one is this: if everybody didn't pay council tax, and if everybody didn't pay the normal taxes, and if everybody could find it within themselves to stay at home for just one day or even a week, we could literally turn everything around. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen. So if you have had the courage not to pay your TV license, you will get the obligatory letters. They always come through. It's done by a computer. It's all done. It's not like Big Brother watching you. All it is it's just computer. The computers generate the letters, and they just continue to roll out. And they might say, "Oh, we're going to visit you on this particular day." It's all a crock of shite. It's all a crock of shite. Now, meanwhile, of course, in Disney. So if you are a big fan of Disney, I'm not, but, let's remember that 28 Disney staff have been arrested over Category 1 child pornography and child trafficking. Now, for anybody that doesn't know what Category 1 pictures are, these are the most horrendous things that you can think of. These show penetration of various objects and things in regards to children. So, I'm not going to go into any more details than that because there's just really no point. But Category 1 is really, really serious. I mean, proper serious. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Todd Blanche. Now, Todd Blanche is this new geezer that's just been signed in, of course, by the administration, and he has just confirmed that the 2020 election was fraud. Fucking hell, we all know that. We all know about the Epstein files. We all know about JFK. We all know about all this shit. I mean, do these people not realise that we know about all this stuff? Interestingly enough, we're still waiting for all of this shit to come out. Okay. And to be honest, anybody in power at the moment that thinks that they're going to hide this shit, well, you've got another thing coming. We're not forgetting about this shit. We're not forgetting about COVID-19. We're not forgetting about the Epstein files. We're not forgetting about the assassination of JFK. We're not forgetting about Princess Diana's assassination. We're not forgetting about any of that shit. So get that in your fucking heads. So what you may as well do, right, you may as well put your hands up, right, you know, freaking nip your arse cheeks together, okay, and whatever's coming to you, you just better get used to it, okay, because it's coming, okay, so fuck off. Right, now, Rachel Reeves. Rachel Reeves apparently attended an IMF meeting in France. This is like a G7 energy and finance meeting. Load of bollocks, right? This geezer, I don't even know if she's a man or a woman, I ain't got a fucking clue. Anyway, Rachel Reeves apparently rocks up in a bright pink jumpsuit. Fucking stroll on. I'm not joking. Look like fucking Andy Pandy on fucking steroids, let me tell you. Plus, just ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if you've seen the photos, you're probably going to be physically sick. Now, meanwhile, Surrey police are investigating non-recent, they've got some great names to these crimes, non-recent child pornography crimes. I mean, how the fuck do you get that? Non-recent. Now, this apparently goes back to the Epstein files. So once again, you see, we're having, all this is coming out, and it's all coming out very slowly, and, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then we've got Congress. Congress, of course, talking about the UFO files and the UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. Fucking hell. I mean, come on. It's a fucking flying saucer. Fuck off. Unidentified aerial phenomena. What the fuck is that all about? Let's just call it UFOs. Anyway, Steven Spielberg, not sure when this is coming out. I think it's this year. Could be June time. Could be June. He's brought this new film out called Disclosure Day, right? And I'll let your imagination decide what that is. Now, this is really interesting. Apparently, Steven Spielberg has commented on this film that's coming out called Disclosure Day. Now, I'm being told it's the summertime, so that's quite an interesting one, isn't it? Okay, so yeah. Now, so these are quotes from Steven Spielberg, right? So, quote, "The film is closer to the truth than you may first think." Fucking hell, that's a bit of a statement from Steven Spielberg, isn't it? Second, "There will be alien disclosure," quote, okay. Quote again, "Bring a seatbelt to be able to buckle up." I mean, fucking hell, bring a seatbelt. Are you serious? Right. And then another quote that he said, these are like sort of quotes that he made in reference to the film during an interview. He said that, quote, 7 billion people will find out the truth. Fucking hell. I tell you what. Now, going back to the 8 witches. Can you remember I told you about this? 8 witches, Meghan Markle, etc. What does Q say about the 8 witches? Watch the wives. Watch the wives. Apparently the wives are very important in regards to all this shit that's going on. So watch the wives. Very interesting, what should we say? A very interesting piece of advice. Know what I mean? I mean, you know, if I was actually in the government, I would actually say, watch your arse. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to come to the Met Office. The Met Office has been renamed "We Are Lying Fuckers." Now, this is all down to the climate change bollocks. Okay. Now, very interestingly enough, okay. The IPCC, you got no idea what, I presume that's independent protection of climate fucking shit or whatever, I don't know, anyway. Now, what they've said is this is apparently an independent body. Don't believe that for a fucking second. Anyway, they've said that the Met Office, the very data that the Met Office are modelling, okay, basically contradicts the net zero policies. That's quite an interesting statement, that. Now, if you know anything about plants, which I do, and you know anything about gardening, which I do, and you know anything about landscaping, which I do, okay, you will know that CO2 is a very important gas on the planet. Now, CO2, okay, is produced by human beings, okay? I'm led to believe that it's also produced by cars, okay? So CO2 would be the sort of the essential gas to actually target if you were going to lie to the people, okay? So CO2. Now, human beings breathe out CO2. I think the figures are 0.4% of gases in the air are CO2 related, okay? Now, what happens with trees? Now, trees and plants and grass and flowers and all breathe in CO2. So the plants and the trees take in CO2 in order to then convert that CO2 into oxygen. So all of the trees on the planet, so if we think about the Amazon, the rainforest, etc., they produce oxygen for the planet and for the climate. So, without trees, okay, you are going to have a serious deficiency in, of course, oxygen, okay? And that could probably affect the climate. It probably affect a lot of things. Now, here's the interesting thing. The stupidity of man is that they are quite happy to chop down thousands and thousands and thousands of miles of Amazon rainforest in order to burn the trees in order to make electricity. Does that sound like a clever plan? Absolutely fucking not. Whoever's in charge of this bullshit must be either the most idiotic person on the planet, or just as thick as absolute shit. Because let me tell you, cutting down trees is not the way forward, okay? Growing trees is the way forward, okay? And everyone gets on about flooding and all this shit and the rain running off the fucking land. Just plant a load of trees. Did you know that an oak tree, a fully mature oak tree, drinks 50 gallons of water a day? A fucking day, right? So when you've got somewhere that's flooding, the simple alternative to flooding would be to plant trees. But no, the planners and the builders in the UK, they dig a fucking pond. They dig a drain-off pond that, do you know what? After a while, stinks to high heaven. It gets polluted. It gets kills the wildlife, etc., etc., etc. These people are absolute fucking bananas. I don't understand them. I really, really don't understand them. I honestly don't. I mean, whoever they are, they just need to fuck off the planet because they're just crazy bastards. They are crazy. They're just crazy. That none of the stuff that they do makes any sense. There's no common sense to it. It's you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for tonight. Hope you all enjoyed it. We are, of course, at 7:30. I've got to make a log fire, you know what I mean? Because that's one of the things that you do on an evening now. A little bit damp in the northeast of England today, but apart from that, reasonably good. So, yeah, very interesting. We will see you all again tomorrow, which happens to be Wednesday, the 20th of May. Is it May? June? May, yeah. 20th of May. I will post up this live for Nesta as quick as I can for you. And, don't forget to share everything and, enjoy yourself. And listen, don't get too much in a fuddle about shit because it's just not worth it. Just chill out, relax, get on with your life, do whatever you've got to do. Yeah, talk about this stuff, in between times but most of all, have a laugh about it. Know what I mean? We have actually, ladies and gentlemen, 55 people in the house. So we must be talking the right kind of shit. Anyway, listen, take care, have a great evening, enjoy yourself, and we will see you all again very shortly.